We are from Benue State, and the mainstay of our economy is agriculture. The name of the ACA and BSU is Center for Food Technology and Research. That is what we call CEFTER, and it's basically for prevention of post-harvest losses.
This is an ACE that focuses on the control of post-harvest losses in Western Central Africa and indeed Africa. It's been shown repeatedly by publications and through research that more than 30 to 60% of all foods that we produce is lost due to poor post-harvest handling. And therefore, we consider that this is a very serious problem that needs the attention of all that are concerned with food security around the world.
The aim of the project was to train manpower, MSc and PhD, to solve the problem of post-harvest losses. That is, to engage young Africans, give them the needed training, top quality education with innovative learning techniques and practices.
We have a lot of food here in Benue State. We produce a lot of food ranging from tubers, fruits, and grains, and so on. But we suffer a lot of wastages here. So the CEFTER mandate is to see how we can control that, maybe by value addition, preservation, and so on.
So we were able to develop programs that suit the society: post-harvest physiology of crops, blood physiology and agricultural extension, food chemistry, food processing technology, food science and technology.
We insist that whatever project that is coming up, you're either processing or you're adding value. And all those things are issues that can help us in mitigating post-harvest losses.
Specifically with emphasis on control of post-harvest losses. In this area, we have recruited in the past 3 years over 500 students at the master's and PhD levels.
And then we implemented it in a way that it will not be a normal university-based education. We've brought in the issue of internship that even people doing MSc and PhD go to an industry or a farm or work in a real-life setting to be able to solve problems.
We have been able to engage researchers both in West Africa and in Nigeria in particular in the area of post-harvest losses, and they have been able to identify a lot of technologies that we are now using to help farmers to improve the shelf life of their crops.
One of our basic problems with agri-produce is that of drying. The method that are used here for drying, they are local methods, which I consider to be very unhygienic and unprofessional. So with this center, coming up with a project like this that we tackle the problem on every angle became our priority. So first we considered issues of a system that would work for that, and then we came up with the system you are seeing here.
This is a master's degree project on the design and development of a grain dryer to solve the problem of post-harvest losses as is caused as a result of poor drying system that farmers in the village experience. Now, there is no electricity in the village. Now, this is going to be a self-powered system that will be generating power by itself, and the drying will be done with the aid of these conveyors. There will be a hopper up here when it's completed that will be fed with the grain, and the grain will be conveyed on the conveyor. Now, there is a heating chamber that is under that will be heating and through convection be drying the grains up here. At the end of the day, we'll be able to determine the efficiency of drying.
We here will depend on local traditional means of controlling moisture content in agri-produce, and that has not helped. The wastage is much. If you go to the rice mills, this technology will be a breakthrough for many businesses beyond farmers. Actually, it's a multi-purpose. It doesn't just rely on one particular agri-produce. Any agri-produce that has moisture in it that needs to be dried can be dried in this machine we have.
Farmers in Benue State, they produce a lot of tomatoes, pepper and okra during the rainy season. And during that period, in the state, we don't normally have the sun due to continuous rainfall. And as such, it's very difficult to dry during that period. So as a result of that, I came up with this freeze dryer. It uses low temperature for drying. Like for tomatoes, can be dried with a freeze dryer at a temperature of -2 degrees Celsius. Pepper at a temperature of -1.5 degrees Celsius, and okra at a temperature of -1.4 degrees Celsius. So with this freeze dryer, it's easy to dry vegetables during rainy season. It has 2 chambers. This is the drying chamber, this is the vacuum chamber. You freeze your product in here, and then during the freezing, normally you operate the compressor 1. This is compressor 1 that normally provide a refrigeration system for you to be able to freeze your products. This is the pepper, dry pepper. It is dry with the freeze dryer. You can look at the quality. The color is maintained. This is okra. This is tomatoes.
What that means is that this food is not going to be wasted again as it used to be. Now you're going to process it to be able to even sell it in a form that people would prefer to buy it. And this is happening within the region.
A lot of mangoes spoil in my country. And agriculture being one of the major areas of my country, the economy, I deem it necessary to work on mango because we have a lot of mangoes abundant in the country, and because we don't have processing, storage, and all the other issues that are connected to post-harvest losses, they spoil. And even other countries that come in to buy, they'll go and add value to it, bring it and sell it to us at a more expensive rate. So as a result, I deem it necessary to work on mango in order for me to use that technology, go back to give to my country. This is corn. I process corn into grits, like the normal corn flakes. And then I use sesame as an oil seed. And because sesame is very rich in protein, I use it to fortify the flakes. And then this sesame is the seed. This is the seed. And then I defatted, remove the oil, so that because the oil, when you add it to the flake, will lead to rancidity. It will spoil the flake. And the flake will not be able to stay for 1 or more years, and the purpose of the research will be defeated.
We are looking at technology that can come to cushion the effect of nutrient degradation in fruit juice, basically. And you know, the juice that I'm using is orange juice. Why I choose orange juice? Orange is the most dominant fruit in Benue State. I'm looking at the post-harvest aspect of it. If a technology is developed that can now change that raw form into another form that can stay a very long time and then still retain the nutrients required in the juice.
This place have trained me, and I have practically successfully produced biscuits from sweet potato, which can also be done with any other crop. And there are lots of other products, new products that we develop from our local crops and extend their shelf lives. So from here, I'm prepared for the industry.
This kind of program doesn't exist in my country and in other sub-regions. And I believe coming here to study has opened up new horizons for me and new knowledge, which I can go back and deliver to the farmers and even to my government, because it is a kind of a new innovation in Africa. So it is really worth it coming here to study.
The main purpose of coming here is because we don't have processing food science and technology, especially in terms of processing of food in the Gambia. And that's why we have been sent to this center, which is meant purposely for processing of food and dealing with post-harvest losses, so that we can go back to our country and be able to help in preventing those post-harvest losses.
We want to train students who are not just job seekers, but students who are capable of standing on their own. So a substantial amount of time is devoted to exposing the student to industry.
And then we have this internship program that is very important and very useful, where students go and work in an industry, in an agro-based industry, in community-based industry, to work with farmers and really have a feel of what real life is. And that by the time you graduate, and the few that have already graduated, in fact, one of our students here has taken a product from our first maiden edition food week and has developed it and is processing for paper for export.
We do that, hoping that even if you don't get a job after now, you'll be able to be an independent entrepreneur.
The students have been trained in such a way that you don't need to be an employee. You have to be an employer of labor. That is why after the whole classwork, we send them to industries and internship for about 3 months.
This is our second week of being attached to this place, Seraph Nigeria Limited. And what they do here is production of oil, from edible oil, from soybean. Since I've been here, I've been able to bridge the gap between what I've learned in the class as a food scientist and then what is obtainable in the industry.
What we have learned so far is the practical aspect of what we were taught in class. That's the theory. Because we were taught the method of extraction, which the one they use here is solvent extraction method. And we are also taught the chemistry that happens during the refining of the oil in the neutralizer. We have also seen how that happens when the phosphoric acid is added into the oil, how the gums break. We've also seen that, and I think to a large extent we've learned a lot.
So what we need now is that giant step that we need to take in the region to make sure that whatever things that we have developed now are put in a way that people will appreciate, by ensuring that we go more into the region. We need that all government, agricultural-based enterprise and agencies should come to us with their problems to ensure that the problems that we have found solutions to are solved in all dimensions and not just within the university here.